Hi, welcome back to my story time with Nana. I have a whole new story for you. This week it's about a little girl who gets a job and everyone benefits from it. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Let's begin. Nora gets a job. The day after Danny helped Daddy fix the tractor plow so he could finish plowing the field, Mommy started working on getting the field prepped for planting. Nora was feeding one of the baby goats she had named Flower a bottle. The kid was not being fed by her mother, Karma, and Nora had decided to be the baby goat's mommy. She sat at the edge of the field watching her mother planning the different vegetables she would be planting. She was setting the seed packets at the end of each row. "Mommy, do you need some help?" she yelled out. "I would love some help," Mommy answered. "Are you done feeding Flower yet?" "Yes." Nora set the baby goat down, shooed her towards the back pasture, and walked out to her mother. "What can I do to help?" "Well, I was hoping to get most of the garden planted before dinner," Mommy told her. "I can help," Nora told her. "Well, thank you. I could use a helper today." "What are you planting?" Nora asked. Mommy told Nora about the vegetables she was hoping to get in the ground before nightfall. "I'll tell you what," Mommy said. "I will give you the job of the green beans. See that row over there?" She pointed 3 rows over. "I was hoping to get them in today, but I am well behind on my planting. Would you like a job as the green bean planter?" "Like a real job?" "Yes, you will be my green bean planter and cultivator," Mommy answered. "Wow, my very own row of vegetables?" "Sure," Mommy smiled. "Do you think you'd like that job?" "Would I ever!" Nora exclaimed. "I love green beans, and being the boss of that row would be awesome." "Okay, then. You are now responsible for the green bean row," Mommy told her. "That is your job. Now, don't forget, green beans need extra tending too." "Oh, I remember, Mommy. Don't worry. I'm going to be the best green bean grower ever." "Well, I'm sure you will." Nora ran into the woods that butted up to the pasture and began collecting sticks. She would need them for her trellis. She remembered last year when they planted green beans, Mommy had built a trellis with sticks and string for the plants to grow up. Nora was going to build the best trellis for her green beans. She spent most of the morning planting her sticks. Mommy gave her string and she wound it all around her sticks. She stood back and surveyed her work. She had done a great job. Her sticks crisscrossed at the top, and she had another stick nestled in the V of the sticks, making it sturdier than last year's trellis. Her green beans were going to love climbing up that trellis. "Are you hungry?" Mommy called out to Nora. She had brought a picnic lunch out. "I am!" Nora and Mommy sat in the sun drinking ice cold water and eating slices of peppers and egg salad sandwiches. "You did a fine job on that trellis," her mother told her. "I think so too." "I bet the green bean vines love growing up the strings," Nora said. "You know, I have enough sticks left over if you want me to make a trellis for the sweet peas." "Oh, that would be nice," Mommy answered. "I'll tell you what, after lunch, you get your green bean seeds planted, and then you can work on the trellis for the sweet peas. I don't want to stand in the way of your job on the green beans." "Thanks, Mommy. I'm feeling pretty excited to watch my green beans grow." "I'll bet you are." Now just remember, gardening takes time and patience. Nothing grows overnight. I mean, look at the far end of the garden. I planted that corn a month ago. Hopefully, by the time our vegetables are ready, we'll have some corn too. Oh, I know it's going to take time, but it's going to be fun watching it grow from a dried bean from last year to a tiny sprout to a little plant to a climbing machine to vines filled with green beans. I think it's amazing that we grew green beans last year and saved some of those beans, and now we're going to plant those and have green beans this year. Nature sure is amazing, isn't it? Yes, it is, Nora answered. Well, I better get to planting my beans, and then I can set up the trellis for your sweet peas. You're really enjoying this job, aren't you? Yes, I am. It's the best job ever. I love gardening. Nora and Mommy spent the rest of the afternoon planting and prepping the garden rows. Just before dinner, they had planted rows of tomatoes and peppers, cucumbers, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, different lettuces, sweet peas, and Nora's green beans. Wow, Mommy exclaimed. Look at all we accomplished today. I would never have gotten all of this done today without you, Nora. You are the best gardener. I'm glad you accepted the job. Me too, Mommy. I love working in the garden with you. Mommy and Nora watered all of their plantings and then headed into the house. It had been a long day for the gardeners, so imagine their surprise and delight to find that Daddy had picked up pizza on his way home from work. The farmer family sat at the kitchen table eating pizza and telling each other about their day. So, I hope everyone is going to be hungry in about 2 months, Nora said during dinner. We're going to have a lot of vegetables. Well, I hope we don't have to wait until then to eat, Danny replied. And the family laughed and laughed and laughed. For the next week, Nora made sure she watered her garden every day it didn't rain. She weeded, making sure the weeds didn't invade her green beans or the other vegetables she and her mother had planted. And in between tending her garden, she still made sure the flower got her 4 bottles of goat's milk a day. By the second week, she noticed little sprouts. Mommy, the beans are growing, she yelled out. I know. Look over here. We have a showing of everything, Mommy answered, pointing at all of the garden rows. Now is the time to really start watching over our garden, protect our plants so we have a good harvest. So over the next 2 months, Nora and Mommy tended to their garden. Every day, Nora was amazed by the vegetables' growth. Tomatoes started popping out all over. Brussels sprouts began sprouting on their stems. Little heads of broccoli bloomed in the plants of leaves. Peppers filled the plants. Even the corn began to grow on the stalks, and the sweet peas were growing, well, sweetly. The lettuces bloomed like giant flowers. But the green beans, well, they were amazing, growing up the trestle that Nora had built. Every plant was full of beans, long, beautiful green beans. Nora had done a good job of keeping the weeds at bay and helping the vines climb the trellis, and her hard work showed. The plants were full of green beans. Oh my goodness, Mommy exclaimed. Look how beautifully all of our vegetables have grown. You did a great job of planting and tending our vegetable garden. Thanks, Mommy, Nora said, giving her mother a big hug. This has been the best job ever. I have an idea, Mommy said. I think we should have a party to celebrate all our hard work. That's a great idea, Nora said. And that evening, Mommy called all of their friends and family and invited them for a party. Yes, yes, she said on the phone. We're going to serve the food from our garden. Yes, we plan on having a bonfire as well. We can't wait to see you. The children were excited to be having a party. They loved when their friends and family came over for a bonfire. But Nora, she was more excited than any time before. The family was going to share their harvest with her friends and family. She had worked hard to make sure that the garden thrived, and that hard work had paid off. She couldn't wait to share it with everyone. The day of the party, Nora spent the morning out in the garden with her goat Flower. She was eating on her own now. As a matter of fact, Nora had to keep Flower from eating the green beans. Flower, no green beans for you, she said, shooing her away. Nora picked a bit of everything and put it into a wheelbarrow and wheeled it down to the house. Look, Mommy, we have so much from our garden. Oh, we'll be able to make a beautiful salad for today. I'll bet our guests will love eating everything you worked so hard to grow. That afternoon, Mommy made an amazing salad from their garden. She even steamed a medley of broccoli, green beans, Brussels sprouts, and sweet peas. Daddy grilled the corn on the cob and some hamburgers and hot dogs for their guests. Oh, Mrs. Farmer, all of your vegetables are so good. You must have worked very hard in the garden, their neighbor Joe complimented. Oh, the kudos goes to Nora, Mommy replied. I gave her the job of planting the green beans and she just took control of the entire garden. Well, everything is just delicious, he told her. You did a great job, Nora. Thank you, Joe. You're welcome. Say, I wonder, would you be interested if I hired you to help me with my winter garden? What do you know about collards and radishes? Hmm, not a lot, but I'll read up on it and I'll be happy to help you with planting your garden, she answered. Good. Now you have another job. Thanks, Joe, she said, giving him a hug. Hey, Mommy, did you hear that? Joe wants to hire me for his garden this fall. He does? She asked. Well, he'll have the best gardener in town, that's for sure. When the family and friends finished eating, Daddy started the huge bonfire and everyone sat around roasting marshmallows for s'mores. Nora looked over the glow of the fire at all of their friends and family and smiled. She was so proud. Everyone had enjoyed the fruit of her labor, and she had even gotten another job. When the guests left, Nora gave each family a small basket with a little bit of all of the vegetables to take home. You sure are an amazing gardener. Thank you, they told her. Nora smiled and thanked them all for coming to their party. She was so thankful that her mother had given her the job of the green beans. And that night, as her mother tucked her into bed, she gave her a big hug. Oh, Mommy, thank you for giving me the job of gardener. I learned so much and I had so much fun watching all of the vegetables we planted grow. But you know what? What's that, sweetie? Her mother asked. The best part was eating everything we grew. She smiled real big. Hey, Mommy said, did you lose a tooth? Yep, it came out when I was eating the corn on the cob. She held the little tooth up for her mother to see. Not only did I get to grow and eat my very own vegetables, but tonight I'm going to make some money off the tooth fairy. Oh, Nora, Mommy laughed, giving her another hug. You sure are one lucky little girl. The end. Wow, how exciting is that? Planting your own garden and then eating all of the vegetables that you grow. You should try that at home. You could start with a little garden. It doesn't have to be something real big. I hope you enjoyed tonight's story. I'll have another story for you next week. And don't forget to share my stories. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Mwah.